Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko squeezy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko squeezy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko lefty love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko lefty.
All right. Hey, guess what? Good morning. How are you guys doing? Let's get ready to rock and roll, right? It's Monday morning. It's 42 minutes. Yep. 42 minutes after 9 o'clock. Give us an idea as to where you are. I know you want to see me. I know you guys are actually dying to see me, some of you at least. Share the link and let the folks know that we are on. We're going to be on for just about an hour. And let me ensure that I have all my makeup on, my eyebrows well done, my eyelashes. You guys know me already, right? Oh, yes. Sorry, I'm sounding that way. It's Monday morning. Good morning to all of you. I don't want to call all of the names because some of you, if your names are not called, then you get a bit jealous. You know what I mean? Good morning. It's Monday morning, and what's happening in your neck of the woods? The people seem to be in the swallowing thing now. The Venezuelans have taken over the swallowing stuff, and they're swallowing all sorts of things. They're swallowing. They come to Guyana to swallow, and so we are hearing that in Lethem police station, name Elio Giverio, Goverio, possession of narcotics for purpose of swallowing. Swallowed 21 pellets, small pellets. He swallowed it. He swallowed it. And you know when they swallow these things, how they have to get it out of their system, right? Look, 21 of those he swallowed. And the police had to sit at the toilet area. Well, some police are finally working. And they had to sit and wait until he belched it out. Well, of course, not, you know, through his mouth, but he had to sit and wait in the toilet for that. And then they got it. And look, there is the evidence. 21 pellets. Cocaine. Anyways, that's just one of the big items out of Guyana. The other big one is this here: hotels upon hotels upon hotels. If you want somewhere to stay, you get hotels, you have options. No proper roads leading to hotels, no proper roads in the country. Cost of living is so high. But then again, we're having all these hotels upon hotels, hundreds of millions of US dollars. Guyana got a bunch of millionaires, billionaires. I don't know, suddenly all these things, Guyana, beautiful Guyana. Meanwhile, poor me. Well, speaking of that, I want to know what you guys think. Now that this has been revealed, I want to hear what you guys think of this. Because it makes no sense that I just sit here all the time and talk with you guys and I'm not into a business. I can't get contracts in Guyana because the install regime wouldn't give me any contract. I can't get any license to build a hotel and casino and all these. I can't do it, or people like me can't do it. And then even if they want to choose somebody like me to do it, then they give it to some orangutans, and then the orangutans can't finish what they've gotten hundreds of millions of dollars to do. In the case with these orangutans, $346 million to a school out in Linden, and not even a classroom has been constructed thus far. Not even a classroom. Look at this. Contractor behind schedule. Almost 2.5 years now, I believe. 2.5 years now, not a classroom. And watch what they're going to do. They're going to run. It's local government elections now. And the regime is going to say that they've gone back to cabinet. And when they've gone back to cabinet, guess what they're doing? They're going to give another $200 million. And they're going to claim that the $200 million is to finish up this hotel. But it's basically to buy votes. That's what they're doing. They're buying votes with taxpayers' monies. Yet Timor goes at a press conference and say that we are not buying, always something as though he's constipated. Well, sorry, I have to use the pronoun he, but always something constipated at those so-called press conference. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Thieving every single day. That is what's happening in Guyana. Every single day. But I want the people of Linden should be up in arms against this here. They should be protesting at this here. This is where we want some of our officials to go. And in order to make these folks accountable, I want to see the 2 members of parliament for the coalition. One of them, Sears, you only see him when there's some sporting. some backballing. He's always there on some backballing. But to stand up and do things to the people, you hardly see that guy serious. Well, you got to give Jermaine Figueroa a little credit. He's right little thing now in the paper, and he's there out there handing out little things and things like that, right? So give Jorman a little credit. At least Jorman is a little bit, visible, albeit quiet on important matters. But you don't see Sears. Lyndon got the tongue we going on. You're gonna see Sears. I bet you're gonna see by some backballing place, as though that's what people elected them for. Backball, sport up, and talk about tongue weak. People want more than just tongue weak and Lyndon. Lyndon is not just about tongue weak or mashing Linden when you see all of them out on the road mashing and whining and going on and backballing and joke, 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 joke. We get some joke politicians. Good morning again, guys. So we got to be up in arms against this school here. These contractors, Kashif and Shanghai, and that's what these guys are about. And then they love to cry. They love to cry. Oh, black people, black people gotta make money to black people. So that's the new saying now. Black people gotta make money to. When black brothers trying to do something, there's always another black brother trying to pull them down. and then some of them gonna all about we gotta eat. We gotta eat. Oops, I'm still on here, right? Sorry, I know they got some Christians at the especially Francine and them at the nursing home out in Long Island, always watching, always listening. Good morning to Francine and her crew. Good morning to all of you, not just the nursing home in Long Island, but they got nursing homes, Uncle Eddie's nursing home. Good morning to those folks there, and the folks at they have another home on Brickdam Avenue, right? What's the name of that again? I know Ann John and the crew are nursing home experts. Monica Johnson, good morning to you. Good morning to all of you guys. Somebody asked a question. Well, I see some of the comments that Sears only like backball, we are backballing. We got to start. You see, we are where we are because we don't want to hold our elected officials accountable. Elected officials. We see some people now jumping out campaigning. Now, people campaigning starts as soon as the elections end. You don't start at the last minute rushing to galvanize your support base. Your support base must always be ready. So when you hit the streets, they are there with you. Can't rush at the last minute and feel that that's going to do the trick. The palms. Thanks, Mr. Thompson. The palms. The palms. Yeah, how did I miss that? The palms. So what else is happening that you guys want us to talk about? Somebody asked whether she has gone back on the job, and she, meaning she, this one here, whether this one here has gone back on the job. I don't know what's happening other than, well, I kind of don't know, right? I never know anything that's happening. But I think she is, the newspapers are saying the Village Voice, and do pick up a copy of the Village Voice, go on the Village Voice news website. But this article out of Guyana from the Stabrook News is saying Home Affairs PS. And you guys know what PS stands for, right? I'll check the comment section. Anybody, and don't misspell PS, right? PS. If anybody misspell PS and add any extra letters there, I or extra S or whatever, I'll in for some big trouble this morning. So this newspaper is saying Home Affairs PS back in Guyana, a couple days now, mind you, expected to report on cell phone seizure in U.S. Expected to report. She should have already submitted a report way before her return to Guyana. But now she's back in Guyana, and she's going to want to give some Jim Cock bring Ram Goat story. One of the PPP mouthpieces is saying that Oh, she was allegedly manhandled and physically assaulted and physically assault. Are you accusing the agents who, quote unquote, arrested her, as we're hearing, that she was arrested, detained, whatever it is, uh, are going to manhandle her just like that or manhandle? I've never heard of that, those sort of. And if those sort of allegations are coming from her, well, then it's in my opinion, it's false, and it's just basically to gather up some level of sympathy for her. But thus far, I'm not seeing or reading or hearing any sympathy for her, none whatsoever. You go crab dance or something like that. You go crab dance. You guys know the rest, right? You hang out with people who are on the list, the watch list for the U.S. And you give away contracts, billions of dollars of contracts um, to these very friends and cronies, as we see, um, and all these things. And when I say give away, the ministry gives away, mind you, of which she is the PS. You guys know, make whatever out for PS, whatever description you want to add to that. But we'll get back to this PS who should have already resigned. And I hope that one of the things that she's submitting right now is her resignation. I repeat, she should have submitted her resignation already, because based on reports is that her ministry cannot be trusted. She can no longer be trusted. There's no more confidence in her as a PS. Okay? PS. No more confidence. And then she has to resign. She just has to resign. I think it was the shadow minister of um, legal affairs, Roysdale Ford, member of parliament and senior counsel, has said that the regime needs to come forward and say something. Well, Mr. Ford, we can't just ask the regime to say something. They're not going to say anything. They're afraid. And so what may happen is we may hear, and by the way, good call by Roysdale Ford there on that. Good call. Um, I also heard the leader of the opposition made mention in passing of this situation. And again, I do believe that here is where the opposition should have taken full advantage of this situation in terms of exposing and asking questions and so forth and so on. The what is it? We have a Guyana has a shadow minister of foreign affairs. It's always foreign to things happening in Guyana. And these are things that these folks should have been aggressively going after. But it could be that people get their friends too in places, right? Uh, Also, the shadow minister of home affairs, who happens to be Geeta Chandan. Geeta should have been after these stories as well. Press conferences upon press conference. But then again, when you're talking, somebody's going to say, shh, shh, shh. Too much shh, shh. Got us where we are today. Anyways, enough of that. Back to this here. Uh, May is back. It's April, but May is back in Guyana, and she has to. She has to resign. And the opposition, the main opposition, they actually have to call for her resignation. She has to resign. No if, ands, or buts. She has to resign because, according to information, if in fact, yes, her phone was seized, and if in fact there are certain things of national security concern on that phone, and she allegedly was in communication with people who do not have Guyana's best interest at heart, other than money, because money got make, whether it's the billions or whatever. And some of them who are now suddenly billionaires in Guyana, suddenly I say, with no apologies, and who believe that they run things. They're not patriotic. They're not concerned about Guyana, concerned about what they can squeeze and milk out of Guyana, and even compromise the security sector of our country. Hence, she, this woman here, who sits there as the PS, should not be allowed to sit there or continue to sit there as the permanent secretary. She has got to go. May has got to go. Simple as that. May has got to go. We can't just say she's not going anywhere. May has got to go. Come on, Brenda, repeat after me. May has got to go. I know it's April, but the May is spelled M-A-E. May, you know, May has got to go. Simple as that. The nation, the people have no confidence in her sitting there as a PS. Put her somewhere else. Put her to go and work for the Mohammeds. Let her be a secretary or something. Put her somewhere else to work. She cannot sit there. She cannot sit there. And of course, when she was placed here in that position in 2020, there was a big controversy concerning whether she was qualified to be in that position or not. But then again, you know what happens. You don't necessarily have to be qualified to be in any position. Because look around the PPP, them. Look around. You think Kwame and them qualified? Well, of course, Kwame has his own qualifications. Stop it, guys. Let's head back to some serious business here. You know, they got their own qualifications, mind you. Some of them qualifications is being hoodlums, hooligans. That's what some of those guys are qualified. But back to this woman here, this controversial woman that somebody said, and a woman, and you know, sometimes, you know, as that the woman said to me, you know, Mark, and the woman is actually not Kwame because Kwame wouldn't be talking to me, but the woman actually said, Mark, you know, I feel kind of sorry for she, you know. I said, huh? You feel sorry for she? When they're out there doing their things against many of people, many Guyanese, and you know what? And mingling with their overnight billionaire friends and all these sort of things, while their overnight billionaire friends getting billions of dollars of contracts, who ain't getting gun licenses. And you think these people are sorry for you? And the person that I said, you think these people, you think this woman will feel sorry for you? And she paused. She said, it's for true, you know. Of course it's for true. So me and sorry for she. Honestly, I'm not sorry for her. Cause you think she's sorry for me? You think she would be sorry for y'all? Look who she gonna be sorry for. She got she own people she would be sorry for. Not me. Like, look at people them. Them is the people she gonna be sorry for. Or gotta be sorry for she, not me. Because them is the people that she protecting, not me. Sorry about that. I'm behaving like if I'm at Stabrook Market, right? And this is not nothing condescending to my friends at Stabrook Market, but you know, me already again market laugh. Right? I must feel sorry for she? You kidding me? When the allegations are what they are. You know, you got equipment, spying equipment and all these sort of things coming out of the Ministry of Home Affairs. You have a device that is used to um, check up on the CCTV cameras around Georgetown, going into the hands, allegedly, into the hands of any Tom, Dick, and Muhammad, and Ali, and Harry, and all these sort of people, endangering the lives of citizens, if proven to be true, right? Because here how that sort of phone operates to monitor the CCTV cameras. So you get it now and you're monitoring it. You could zoom in, you could zoom out, and you could delete also. So if there's something that you don't like on that you don't see, you could delete it. Oh, yeah. And so one woman, the woman who said, Mark, and I feel sorry for she. Sorry for she? Sorry for she? Are you kidding me? Look, y'all don't inbox me and tell me y'all feel sorry for she. Y'all don't, right? Because we can go up the road. We can definitely go up the road. We can definitely go up the road. Don't call me and tell me that you feel sorry for she. Don't do that. Or you don't do that. Or you don't do that to me. Let me see. How many of you feel sorry for she? Because we got some other stuff to talk about. How many of you feel sorry for she? Now let's sip on a Red Bull. You guys know me and my Red Bull, right? I don't drink it a lot, but whenever I can afford to buy one, I buy it. Cheers. How many of you feel sorry for she? I know somebody gonna put in the comments, say, Mark, don't drink Red Bull. It ain't good for you. Right? How many of you guys feel sorry for she? Where's Brenda? Where's Charlene and the whole crew? Where are they? Aliyah busy. Aliyah don't make jokes. She just come out with a big wild cane and ready for lash. Let me see Brenda Braithwaite and all of them. Naomi and all of them. Raul. Let's see. How many of y'all feel sorry for shit? If y'all feel sorry for shit, I'm going to stop talking about shit today. Today. If, let me see, I need to see about 10 persons. If out of the 10, 5 say they're sorry for shit, I'm done talking about her. Let me see. Brennan said, nah, he. Bonita James said, I don't. Marla Ali Cox said, no, sorry, Mark. Okay. Karen Welcome said, nah, me, sorry for she. Naomi said, nah, me. Nadira Sokraj, good morning. You know, I always like to see Nadira. All of you, I love to see all of you. How's Essequibo going, Nadira? I got to stop by whenever next I'm in Essequibo. And you know my favorite. Mami Bele Roti and Daddy Chonke Dao. All right, Nadira. So, good morning. So, how many more of you feel sorry? Patsy said not she. Hollis Charles said not she. Shirley said not she. Nadira says she's watching from Essequibo. Hi. Aliyah said, I'm happy she was caught. Aliyah don't make joke. Aliyah is a heartless woman, you know. Aliyah don't feel sorry for them. London says sorry, not London. I would feel sorry for she if she come by my house. All right, G1, let me stick back to the subject matter, please. I know it's raining in Guyana and things happening at your NG1, but let me don't divert and go to your house and we go to your house. So Wayne Caesar says, no mercy on me. Sherry said, Mark, I'm sorry they didn't put her in jail. Gosh, Jennifer, good morning, Jennifer. Mark, you know Red Bull is not same thing I tell y'all. I got my nurses and I got my doctors, real doctors, not like the one who said he's Dr. Jack Deal, not that kunumunu. You know, somebody, Aliyah wants to throw a celebration. You know, I don't know who, to me, Aliyah is a rough woman. Right? Aliyah is a rough woman. Rough. Aliyah likes it, like the type of just drag her partner off the bed and dash them on the ground and drag them out the house and say, hey, you know, I'm sorry. You know, it's Monday morning, right? Aliyah don't make joke. Let me see. Brenda laughing. Brenda could laugh. Vanessa said, nah. Wendy said, I'm not sorry for her. So basically, and Nadira Sokraj said, nah, Nadira ain't sorry for shit. You know, and so I was surprised that a friend of mine, I'd like to think that she's a friend of, not her, said that, you know, Mark, I feel sorry for she. I was like, wow, you feel sorry for she. Well, me sorry for she. Because like I said, she ain't sorry for none of us. She was proper abuse up and go on and ill-treat people. One person she fired the other day. She didn't feel sorry for that person.
This is what veterans are doing to
Fired that
disability rating.
The other day.
Two
Fired.
of the conditions they had me rate.
That person was fired the other day. That person was, guess what? Fired the other day. And y'all telling me that we must feel sorry for it. She? You see, and y'all telling me I must feel sorry for she? You gotta be kidding me. She's got to resign. She's got to be out of there. That's the only option right now. She's got to resign. Got to resign. There's no explanation. What can she tell us? What can she tell us? Y'all tell me. What can she tell us? That, oh, they grabbed the phone from she? They grabbed the phone from she? What phone and all these things? No. What are some of those things on the phone? You guys want us to talk about those emails? You guys want us to talk about those text messages? You guys want us to talk about those screenshot? Those WhatsApp messages? Those WhatsApp messages? This story long, right? You guys want us to talk about that? Speaking of this year again, let's go back to this year. Speaking of this year, Home Affairs PS, phone confiscated by U.S. authorities. Y'all know the regime in Guyana, the install regime, wouldn't give me no contract. They wouldn't give 99% of y'all watching any contract, none whatsoever. Let me give y'all. The only thing they will give y'all is little drainage to go and clean little gutter in Agricola or Albaiston or somewhere in Linden or Buxton or somewhere. Gutter contracts. That's what they're about. Give y'all gutter contracts. Clean little drains, sewage. That's what they're about, right? That's what they think you're worth. But I don't care what the regime say. I am. And if any of you out there want to be my business partner, not the Mohammeds, not them, not them, right? Not them. And not them. But any of you out there want to be my business partner, and there's a business venture. I'm getting into the phone business. But here's the kind of business I want to talk to you guys about. And if you want to be my business partner, let's be partners, right? Business partners, mind you, when I say partners. At the airport of Guyana, I'm going to find out how much to rent a booth. And I'm gonna have like about how many members of parliament, how many ministers, government officials. I'm going to check how many. So if we have about 150 or 200, I'm going to have a little area at the Timeri airport there. And I'm going to have lockers. So those in the install regime or those connected to the install regime or those who are controversial so-called business people in Guyana and their workers, those workers around them, right? Hey, kudos to some of those workers, man. Give you guys thumbs up. Some of you who are working around those controversial business people, kudos to some of you. Good, but here it is. When I'm going to have this, it's probably going to cost, I don't know how much. We got to do this this business plan. So if any one of you know about business plans and so forth, let's get this thing going. Let's get it going. At the airport, we will have a nice big area, and we're gonna have small lockers. So when these, like for example, when Jack Dave is leaving, and if he has to pass through the U.S., he could leave his phone in that locker. We're gonna charge a rate for a week, for 3 days, for 2 weeks, however long you're staying, we are going to charge. And we also accept credit cards. We also accept that. So we will be keeping those PPP officials and their corrupt business friends and those who are associated with it. We are going to keep their phones at the airport. We are going to lock it. They're going to walk with their lockers. They're going to walk with a key and they get everything. So that's the business I want to get into. That's the business. Man, I will become a multi-millionaire, a billionaire overnight. And then when I become a billionaire, I could pay to put my money in the what was it? one of those magazines, the economics or whatever, one of those magazines. I could pay to put my picture anywhere. And then when I start making all these monies, trust me, some of you, I'm gonna give you guys cars too. Roxanne, Aaron, you want a car? I'll donate a car to you. Brenda, I'll give you a bicycle. Emily, you'll get a minibus, and I'll walk around. I'll show you guys how much I love you. I'll hug up people. I'll kiss up people. I'll dress up. You see this thing here? Some of you say I'm gonna dress up. Yeah, I didn't see dress up yet. They get some of them making hundreds of millions of dollars, and they still put on suit, and they're still looking like Mickey Mouse. And then the same people jealous of them, and people jealous. But I will make all of you will become rich. I noticed somebody said, what is it? Cell tower lockers. No, cell tower lockers. I prefer we name it Don't Get It Seized. Don't get it seized. Come on, leave your phone before you go, sir. You want to take a chance going through with that phone? Leave your computer too. Leave your computer too. Right? Leave your computer too. Leave it. So that's a good venture. We're on it. Let me know. Cheers, guys. Brenda wants to build a hotel. Well, I can't build a hotel right now. I can't build a hotel right now. I ain't got 150 million US dollars. I'm getting there though. I'm getting there. Getting there. Yeah, I want to start sell things out of suitcase. I want to push cart around and sell fish and shrimps and all kind of thing, because it looks as though when you get into them kind of business, that is the only time you could become millionaires, and billionaires and all these other things. I don't know. All right, so I still got some other things I want to talk with you guys about. Not about my phone business. Notice Brenda getting vexed. Why bicycle? Why? Oh gosh, guy, these people touchy. I just throw in the bicycle there, man. Because if I just said car, you would get vexed. Oh, I don't want a car. I can buy a car on my own. Good morning, Brenda. How are you? All right, Kelly Abrams. Good morning. Let me see, Kelly Abrams saying you only have to get 65 million to buy Marriott. Only have to get 65 million to buy Marriott, right? The and all is another story. The and all, the Marriott also, that's another story, right? I repeat, the Marriott, that's another story. That's just another story. Should we talk about that story now, or should we just leave it for later? U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission litigation release, April of 2010. The commission announced that on April 1st, 2020, the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California entered final judgments by consent against Genesis Intermedia Inc., its former CEO and CFO, and related parties. And you go on and on in this document, and you will see that the person who now is the highest bidder, $65 million for the Marriott. $65 million for the Marriott. You'll hear more about that. You'll hear more about that. A Saudi Arabian financier and the former executive of a defunct California telemarketing company were sued yesterday, meaning that's back in 2006, by federal regulators over claims that they orchestrated a 130 million stock loan and manipulation scheme The suit was filed by the Securities and Exchange Commission against Adnan Kasajogi, and Saudi financier, and Rami Batrawi, who was chief executive of Genesis Intermedia, a telemarketing company formerly based in Van Nuys, California. El Batinwari owned 85% of that. According to the lawsuit filed in the United States District Court in Los Angeles, the two men lent 15 million Genesis Intermedia shares to Deutsche Bank Securities while artificially inflating the stock price. El Batwari, that's the businessman, quote unquote businessman, who is the highest bidder for $65 million for the Marriott Hotel, and others also drove up the price for stock by engaging in large numbers of buys and sells, the SEC lawsuit said. The buys and sells were often done in small lots of 100 to 500 shares and blah, 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 blah. So that's the man who now is the highest bidder. He is the highest bidder. I bet a lot of you know what he looks like by now. The highest bidder for the Marriott. The Marriott is making a profit, but Jack Deere wants to sell the Marriott. They want to sell the Marriott because, not because it is making profit for the Guyanese people, or should be, but because by selling the Marriott gives them, Jack Deere and his cohorts, them an opportunity to make some money. It's a side hustle for them. So if they're going to accept the bid of $65 million, just remember some going into the hands of corrupt politicians in the PPP. Those corrupt politicians, some of that money will be going into their hands. And that is why Jack Deere is so eager. Yes, he is so eager to sell the Marriott. Sell the Marriott. And that's what's going on. And meanwhile, the person who's the highest bidder has had serious issues with the stock exchange and so forth in the US. Serious issues. And so I just thought that I bring that to your attention. Is there anything else you guys wish for me to bring to your attention? Anything else you want to hear? Elections, forging all those names that the PPP has been doing. They've been caught with their pants down, so to speak, forging people's names. Forgery. Is that what you guys want me to talk next, or should I just call it a day and just go for now? If you want me to go for now, let me see. Somebody is asking what's going on with Claudette Singh. Not much is going on with Claudette Singh. We'll get back to Claudette Singh. We haven't forgotten about Claudette Singh, and we are not going to forget about Claudette Singh. We still need to talk a little more about Claudette Singh, yes. And what else should we talk about before we call it a day? Or I still have some other stuff I want to talk to you guys about. What's going on with Sam Hines? We haven't heard much about Sam Hines. Sam Hines gone into hiding. He's gone into hiding. But someone sent me a photo, and I couldn't look. I probably right now got like $6.50 in my pocket. $6.50. And look how I'm looking. $6.50. There's nowhere on earth, absolutely nowhere on this earth, that I will be making money and looking like this. Absolutely absolutely no way that I will be making money and looking like that, like that, right? You know what is happening? You know why people look like this? Because you know. So there's no way y'all recognize that thing, right? There's no way that I'll be making money. Well, they said that he's making money now. He's a contractor. Imagine from selling off Rob Street and Regent Street in a little bowl in a little saucepan. I tell y'all, if y'all want to get rich in Guyana, start off selling things in a saucepan. Start off selling things, even if you get an old posy, paint it up, put a little sweetie inside, and start sell. Walk down Regent Street, walk down Rob Street and sell. Sell, right? Sell. And then in a couple of years' time, you'll become a millionaire and a billionaire. What else is it? This is actually the list of individuals who were slaughtered under the PPP regime, under Jack Dave's regime. That Jack Dave sat by and allowed hundreds of people to be killed, including a sitting minister of Agriculture, Saturday Saw, and some members of his family, I think 2 or 3, and a security guard was actually killed. And Jack Dale refused. Jack Dale and the PPP, they have refused to have what is called an inquiry into the death of a sitting minister of his government. Ask yourselves this question. Why do you think Jack Dale is afraid to have an inquiry held? Again, why do you think Jack Dale is afraid to have an inquiry held concerning one of his own ministers? Sat saw. His anniversary was the other day, and his family members are still asking, what has happened? But Jack Dale doesn't want to talk about that. He doesn't want a commission of inquiry, and he knows why he doesn't want a commission of inquiry into the death of a sitting minister. And then as we move around, they're saying that Robeson Ben is missing in action. Robeson Ben is supposed to be the Minister of Home Affairs, and they're saying that he's missing in action. But he was out busy. He was out recently busy. That's him, Robeson Ben. And sitting there is the other one, 19 fraud charges. 19 fraud charges. Notice you don't see any of these goons with their phones, Just keep an eye on that. You'll see that they're no longer on their cell phones. These people are so afraid to even say hi to their grandmother. They're even afraid to say hi to their nanny, the nana, the poor. They're just so afraid right now. They are so afraid right now. Right now, they're afraid that they don't even want to talk on their phones. If you call one of them on their phone right now, I bet you they won't answer. You guys want me to prove it? All right. I ain't going to tell y'all who are calling. But I'm dialing one of them numbers right now. Right now. See? Dialing one of them right now. Dial one of the numbers right now. I bet y'all that them ain't gonna answer. See? Call him. Bet y'all them ain't gonna answer. None of them want to answer their phones. Not a single one of them. Let me get an answer. Roberto Gonzalez, they're not answering. Look, it's ringing. They ain't answering. Yeah, I want me to show you guys who I'm calling and they refuse to answer. I could show you guys. Show you all right. Y'all see? Y'all seeing right? Sue is not answering. Sue ain't answering his phone at all. But let's call someone else now to see. Let's call this other person now to see if they can answer. What story here now? This I don't. Let me see what's going on. Yeah. Well, there's one of them from the opposition. Right. That's one of them from the opposition. Let me answer. Let me see if we get somebody else to answer. You gotta get someone of them must answer me, man. Someone of them must answer me. Someone of them must answer me. Let's call another one and see if anybody else can answer me. Let me see who else can answer. You think they're gonna answer? Yeah, I think this person can answer. Yeah, nobody answering the phone by. Yeah, I want to see who are calling. No answer. I'll show y'all, look. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Nobody answering me, boy. No one in answering. Nobody in answering. What's going on? Let me see who else we could call and see if they can answer. Let me see something. Let me see who else. Let me see who else can answer. Mr. Crawford, good morning. You're live on the air. How are you, sir?
So far, so good. How are you doing?
We're just calling phones to see who will answer. We called about 3 or 4 persons. Nobody answered. The only person answer, guy, is guess who? J.R. Crawford answered. J.R., good morning again. Why do you suppose people, lots of them in the regime, the PPP regime, they're afraid to answer their phones? Why do you suppose?
Well, I guess because they're probably under a lot of stress from the recent developments of, what we're seeing overseas and what they're doing over there.
Lots of, and so you find that these guys like Jack J and all of them, they're afraid now. They don't want to answer. They're not going to text message people and stuff.
Well, we'll see a drastic reduction of phone usage and more physical contact.
Physical contacts.
Because of the possibility, like I said, it's a simple technology to get information and score logic. Once you latch onto that signal in the atmosphere, you will start all the conversation.
Absolutely.
So they're kind of worried now because of the recent exposure.
Yeah. Well,
and,
yeah. But people are saying good morning to you. We were just testing to see who's going to answer the phone or who's not afraid. But thanks that you're not afraid to answer your phone, Mr. Crawford. We appreciate it. Thank you. Good. Yeah, that's J.R. Crawford for you guys. He's not afraid to answer his phone. Others are afraid to answer their phones. Okay, so I called one of the persons who didn't answer was Annette Ferguson, Member of Parliament Annette Ferguson, and she just messaged to let me know that she is in Parliament. So they're in Parliament right now. They're in Parliament, so that's why she is unable to answer her phone. But definitely Sue is not in Parliament, right? Sue is not in Parliament, so I don't know why Sue isn't answering his phone. Thank you so much. I just got a message from another dear friend of mine, ML, good morning to you, who said all of them are in Parliament. And I bet they probably may shut down Parliament right now. Somebody say I should call James Bond to see if James is going to answer the phone. Maybe I should call James Bond, right? Let me see if I still have his number. Let me give James Bond, or maybe James Bond is over by one of his friends then. I would give them the, hey, talk to Mark, talk. No. I don't want to talk to anybody. If they want to talk, let them call Burke and have conversations with Burke, not me. So what else is happening? They got another situation that I want to bring to your attention before I go, because I do have things to do. I have a life. I'm a babysitter, right? I'm a babysitter. I'm a babysitter, right? You never be ashamed to say that you're a babysitter. I'm a babysitter, man. I'm a babysitter. I want to, sorry, let's get a little serious here now. I want to bring to your attention something about the cost of living in Guyana. And what do you guys think of the cost of living? What exactly you guys think, of the cost of living in Guyana? Yep, sorry about that. The cost of living in Guyana. We can talk about that, but I wanted to bring to your attention about a story so that you guys we can discuss it. We can definitely discuss it. Something that we should discuss. Here goes. Let's bring this up for you guys. This is the cost of living in Guyana. How the cost of living is affecting folks. And if we take a look at this person here, Nafisa is saying that she's 49 years old and cost of living is hard for me and my family in Canal number 2. Hard cost of living, and everything has gone up. That's according to Nafisa. And then if we go to, oh shucks, we don't have subscription for this year, but almost all of them are saying the cost of living is really high. Flour gone up, all manner of things have gone up under the PPP regime. Shame and disgrace to those individuals in the installed PPP regime. Shame on those people. Absolute shame on them. We'll take a quick break because I want you guys to listen to something. Don't go as yet. You guys got to listen as to what's happening, but we'll take this quick break and we'll be right back.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, The phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
Source.
Okay, well,
Maybe the Chinese company that did not get the agreement that they wanted here, maybe they're the ones who told you, or it could be just a fictitious thing.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Sujiro?
So my relationship, nothing. He's a tenant in my place. Yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes. Yes. He is a friend of ours.
We still haven't had that matter taken care of at all. But this is what's happening in Parliament currently. And Smokey is the microphone. Let's just head straight over there. And Lemon, can you patch us through, please? Thank you.
Honorable Minister, are you naming a date for the consideration of those papers?
Sorry, the supplementary financial papers will be debated at the next sitting of the Parliament.
Thank you. Honorable Minister of Public Works.
You wish.
Mr. Speaker, I present to the Assembly audited financial statements of the Chedejagan International Airport Corporation for the year ended 31st of December, 2021.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Minister of Natural Resources, Mr. Vikram Bhatt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning. Mr. Speaker, I wish to present to the Assembly the Voluntary Partnership Agreement, VPA, between the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and the European Union on forest law, enforcement, governance, and trade in timber products to the European Union. Mr. Speaker, if I may, for a few minutes. This, Mr. Speaker, is another landmark agreement. As a matter of fact, we're only the second country in the world that is in a position to be fleet licensed after Indonesia. And we're the only country in the world to have signed the Voluntary Partnership Agreement as well as the Forest Partnership Agreement with the European Union, both signed in the last quarter of 2022. Mr. Speaker, the consultative process had started since 2012 after a policy decision was made that we will engage the European Union to sign such an agreement so that there is a legal traceability of our timber products, thereby enhancing our market share, especially in the European Union. So this process has been ongoing since 2012, and I am quite sure that the opposition members, those who are involved in the sector, are very familiar with the Voluntary Partnership Agreement and Guyana being FET licensed because they were also part of those consultations. As a matter of fact, in 2018, it was initial after the negotiations would have been completed and then signed in November of 2022 at COP15. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. The Honorable Member, Mr. Jermaine Figueroa, Chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I present to the Assembly the Rules, Policies, and Procedures Manual Amendment, Regulations 2023, number 4, 2023.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Reports from committees.
Honorable Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance and Chairperson of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Appointments.
Thank you, sir. I wish, Mr. Speaker, to present to the Assembly the 8th report of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Appointments in relation to the appointment of members to the Public Service Commission.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Dr. Karen Cummings, Chairperson of the Parliamentary Sectoral Committee on Social Services.
Be it resolved that the first special report of the Parliamentary Sectoral Committee on Social Services be adopted.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Mr. Clerk.
Oral questions without notice.
Honorable members, I received an email from the Honorable Member Miss Amanza Vizier. Just give me 1 second. Let me get to the right. Yes. Well, a question to the Honorable Minister Hugh Todd. And the question was received last evening, was sent earlier. I'm not going to be allowing it.
The question,
because,
you see?
of course, because there are formats for these questions. And this is what the question said. Please be advised, and I'm quoting for it, that we intend to ask the following question at the next sitting of the Assembly. Honorable members, the Speaker is not advised. Persons seeking to address the Assembly on questions, etc., seek leave of the Assembly or the Speaker. They plead with, they request, or they beg, but they don't tell the Assembly. And we must, and I will enforce the standing orders. Honorable members, so the question can come again in the proper format and it will be entertained.
You
Mr.
guys
Clerk?
heard, right?
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Clerk.
Questions on notice. Mr. Speaker, I am on my
Mr.
feet.
Clerk? Already be a question on notice. Do you have a question on notice? I'll address that.
Sir, I am asking you, I think as a member of the National Assembly, I have the power to, I have the right to ask a question without
Honorable
notice.
member, can you
Do
please
I?
take your seat and let us
Mr.
move on
Speaker,
with the
please,
agenda?
you are providing guidance.
I
And
did.
I am asking you
Yes.
to provide guidance.
I did.
Am I to understand you as saying we are at the point in the agenda of
Questions without
oral
notice, we have
questions
passed.
without notice?
Yes.
You are saying that we have to have approval to stand here and to ask questions because without notice, because I have questions for the Honorable Prime Minister that I wish to ask.
Honorable member, the standing order is very, honorable members, the standing orders are quite clear with respect to issues of questions. Leave must be sought.
Y'all hearing, right?
Leave must be sought.
Leave
and in this
must be
case,
sought.
leave wasn't sought. The Speaker was being advised that this will be done, which is contrary to the standing orders. Thank you very much.
I see. Okay.
Honorable members, there are 14 questions on today's order paper. Questions 1 to 11 are for written replies. Questions number 12, 13, and 14 are for oral replies. Question 1 is in the name of the Honorable Member, Ms. Valda Lawrence, and is for the Honorable Minister of Public Works. Questions number 2, 3, and 4 are in the name of the Honorable Member, Mr. Vince Roy Jordan, and are for the Honorable Minister of Housing and Water. Questions number 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are in the name of the Honorable Member, Ms. Anderson, and are for the Honorable Minister of Housing and Water. Question number 10 and 11 are in the name of the Honorable Member, Ms. Amanza Walton Desir, and are for the Honorable Member, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. The answer to these questions have been received and have therefore, according to the standing orders, been circulated. For oral replies, question number 12, the Honorable Member, Mr. Ganesh Mahipal. you may ask your question.
Ganesh, he's back.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Speaker. Comrade Speaker, I noticed that the subject minister to which I have to put these questions to is not in the House. May I ask that we defer the questions to the next sitting of the National Assembly, or is there another minister that will endeavor to answer?
Yes, I've been advised that the Honorable Minister of Parliamentary Affairs will actually seek that deferral to the next sitting. Honorable Member, Mr. Shearer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maipal. Mr. Speaker, yes, Minister Ashni Singh is not here. He's asked for me to ask for deferral for the next sitting. Is that acceptable? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
We have, yes, so all the questions for the Honorable Finance Minister Ashni Singh will be deferred. Mr. Clerk.
Statements by ministers, including policy statements, personal explanations, requests for leave to move the adjournment of the National Assembly on definite matters of urgent public importance.
Honorable members, I received an email from the Honorable Member Ms. Kathy Hughes, and it said that I have been asked to write to you on behalf of the Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Aubrey Norton, MP, to inform that at this morning's session of Parliament, he wishes to stand to address an issue of national importance.
Denied.
We look forward to informing the House on this critical issue.
Denied.
For your information and guidance. Honorable members, I wish to state again.
The standing order.
On the Standing Order 12,
it says
that any member may at any time appointed on the Standing Order number 13, Order of Business, rise in his or her place and ask leave to move the adjournment of the Assembly for the purpose of discussing a definite matter of urgent importance. 2, a member who wishes to ask leave to move the adjournment of the Assembly shall, before the commencement of the sitting, hand to the Speaker a written notification of the matter which he or she wishes to discuss. The Speaker shall refuse to allow the claim unless he or she is satisfied that the matter is definite, urgent, and of public importance,
in this case, or
and may properly be raised.
Not urgent.
So there are a number of issues with respect to this notice received from the Honorable Member, Ms. Kathy Hughes. First, the member asking for leave has to write to the Speaker. And in this case,
an email is not a letter.
A delegatee is not allowed to. Secondly, we have a convention where these matters come to the Speaker a certain time before, and that time when we meet 2 o'clock, that time is 11, and for other questions like one of oral questions, at least 4 hours before. The second issue here is that the matter has to be stated. The question
of national security has to be specific.
Of urgent public importance has to be stated. In this case, I neither know what the issue is, nor if it's a question.
It's elections forgery,
because
all those documents, corruption.
From reading the email, it appears that the Leader of the Opposition, through the Honorable Member Ms. Hughes, would like to address the Assembly And the chief whip for the opposition, we have had an understanding that if there are personal explanations which the leader of the opposition would want to make, we can have that particular heading used, the speaker be informed, and we can consider the request if the leader of the opposition wants to address on a matter of personal importance. So there are enough flexibility within our rules, our standing orders, and our agenda for these headings to be used to address concerns. And all I'm asking is that we pay attention to the convention and to the rules, and that we respect the chair, the speaker, to exercise his judgment and application of the standing orders to all of these. Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I just have one clarification.
Thank you, Honorable Member, Ms. Hughes.
Thank you. I'm wondering if you could share, just for information, the email, the document, or whatever it is that explained the notice we needed to give.
He's not going to.
If we're meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning.
He's not going to.
I was actually going through my records this morning and couldn't find any information in terms of what that time frame would be. We know what it is if you're meeting at 2. So I think going forward, if you could share the email or whatever parliamentary document that was explained to us.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I'm a very strong, independent woman. I just want to say that we have a rule in this house that persons that are not sitting in this house, their name should not be mentioned. And therefore, I take objection to my husband's name being mentioned in this house. I sit in this house as an independent woman and see that as verbal abuse. I think it is absolutely unfair, Mr. Speaker, that women in this house...
Okay, you're making an address now, please. Please. I am addressing the issue of time frame. Honorable members, please. When we met at 2 o'clock, the time was 11 o'clock. And in the standing order says for oral question, 4 hours. So I've applied that principle 4 hours before with respect to the time. Yes, the sitting. The email, I have no problems. I have no problems with email. I accept them. I don't, right? So, and when for the official records, persons who are mentioned, names of those persons are mentioned officially, I always raise an objection and would expunge any references that may slip by.
Why the opposition just
Mr.
doesn't
Clerk?
walk out right now? The opposition MPs should just walk out of this. This is a masquerade. This is a circus. Look at this man who sits there.
Motions relating to the business or sittings of the National Assembly and moved by Minister.
With the thing there, the master
Honorable
with the thing
members,
there.
come on, we're early and we haven't been here for a long time.
With the thing
Please.
there.
Introduction of bills.
Jokers, boy.
Honorable Attorney General
With the thing there.
and Minister of Legal Affairs.
They're going to come with this national security bill now that will create a national security tag network.
Honorable members, please.
Walk out, guys. Walk out. Walk out. This is a farce. Walk out.
May it please, Your Honor,
No.
I rise to
No.
request
Come on.
that the bill number
Walk
4
out.
of 2023, Foreign Judgment Reciprocal Enforcement Bill 2023, be read for the first time.
That is why they're there, really. because they want to put a guy by the
Honorable
name.
members,
Your call and your
we're dealing with the
members of
Foreign
Parliament
Judgments Reciprocal
walk
Enforcement
out.
Bill 2023, Bill number 4 of 2023. And the Honorable Minister has asked that the bill be read the first time. Let the bill be read the first time.
Foreign Judgment Reciprocal Enforcement Bill 2023, Bill number 4 of 2023.
Imagine.
Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs.
So just imagine that the opposition can't say anything. They can't get their way in saying anything at all. The farce that sits there as a Speaker of the National Assembly shoots everything down for them. Everything down for them. But yet they're going to subject themselves to sit there to listen to this guy speak. Come on, guys, walk out, man. Probably God knows why I'm not a member of Parliament or whatever. Walk out of this here. It cannot. Do not accept this here. This is not democracy. It's not.
Speaker, I present to the Assembly the Combating of Trafficking in Persons Bill 2023, Bill number 6 of 2023. A bill intituled an act to provide comprehensive measures to combat trafficking in persons and for connected matters. And I move that the bill be read the first time.
Let the bill be read the first time.
The Combating of Trafficking in Persons Bill 2023, Bill number 6 of 2023.
The Honorable Minister of Home Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I present to the Assembly Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Amendment Bill 2023, Bill number 7 of 2023. A bill entitled an act to amend the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Act. And I move that the bill be read the first time.
Let the bill be read the first time.
Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Amendment Bill 2023, Bill number 7 of 2023. Public business, government's business.
Everything for the
Honorable members, we will now proceed with the second reading of the Planning and Development Single Window System Bill 2022, Bill number 26 of 2022, published on the 5th of December 2022. Honorable Minister of Housing and Water.
Oh, housing. Robert Prasad's brother.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the Planning and Development Single Window System Bill 2022, Bill number 26 of 2022, published on the 5th of December 2022, be now read a second time.
No, I read the second time. So you guys getting the first-hand preview as to what really goes on in this so-called parliament.
It is my honor to present Bill number 26 of 2022, Planning and Development Single Window System in this noble house. Mr. Speaker, this bill seeks to establish the Planning and Development Single Window System, set out the management and implementation of the system, establish and identify.
Can't listen to this guy, man. Can't give him. And look, the title, Honorable Colin D. Kroll, Robert Prasad's brother. Colin D. Kroll, Robert Prasad's brother, stands there to speak on behalf of housing. Housing. Look, I can't listen to these. These guys are pacos. Housing. This is what he's talking about. This is success story. This is development for them. Housing. This is what he's talking about. So what are your thoughts on what you just heard there? Firsthand, not propaganda. You saw everything for the coalition they shut down. Every request oral questions, they shut down. Every single thing, they shut down. But I'm not going to be a member of parliament. And I'm going to subject myself to sit there and listen to these pakus after they denied me and my colleagues an opportunity to speak, after they've denied me and my colleagues an opportunity to ask questions. I must listen to this thing here. I must listen to these things here. No, man. No, no, no. That can't happen. That can't happen. And it ain't going to happen. It is not going to happen. It just can't. I prefer to, if I want to laugh, because this circus here in Parliament that we're watching is not funny. It's just not funny. If I want to laugh, or I want you guys to laugh, we'll watch this.
Yeah, this is the elite team. The root team. Strong team.
Number one.
PPP team. Yeah. You understand? PPP all the way. Yeah, one Guyana. Yes.
Holding the fort for Monday morning.
In any weather, rain, sun,
we are
in
here.
the night. We there right here. We ain't going nowhere. We holding it for PPP. Yeah. Right. PPP all the way. Yeah, we definitely strong ship. Yes. Yeah, PPP all the way. Yes.
Big us up.
Yeah.
I thought that the guy in the red shirt with the shirt open up and thing, I thought he looks like a guy from Durban Street, or one of those streets. What is he doing in Linden? Let's go back, man. I rather watch these jokers here.
Yeah, this is the elite team. The root team. Strong team.
Number one.
PPP team. Yeah. You understand? PPP all the way. Yeah, one Guyana. Yes.
Holding the fort for Monday morning.
In any weather, rain, sun.
We are
in
here.
the night. We there right here. We ain't going nowhere. We holding it for PPP.
Yeah. Right.
PPP all the way. Yeah, we definitely strong ship. Yes. Yeah. PPP all the way. Yes.
Big us up.
Yeah.
Well, guys, gosh, what is it? What else is happening? Parliament is boring. Opposition members of Parliament have been denied the right to speak, to ask questions, whereas everything for the corrupt PPP regime, they're getting their way in Parliament, and we just can't waste time with that, right? Let's touch on not this here for now, but we already know that she has to go. She has to resign. Robeson-Ben has to say something. She has to go. She has to resign. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And we are calling on her right here on 107.1 FM on behalf of 99.9% of you guys. She has to go. She has to resign. She has to go. All right. Let's see what else we can chat on quickly before we go. Here is the forging of documents, all these names, hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of names forged by the PPP regime. Again, I repeat, hundreds upon hundreds of names forged by the PPP regime. Forged by the PPP regime. That is what they're doing. And so this, I believe, might be the reason why Mr. Aubrey Norton has requested to speak. But since the PPP obviously are afraid of what Norton has to say about the forgery of hundreds of names onto the PPP's list of candidates for the local government elections, the PPP smelled their rat and they denied Aubrey Norton that opportunity to speak. They have denied, again, I repeat, they have denied Aubrey Norton an opportunity to speak. But Aubrey Norton should have walked out of Parliament right there and then, along with all of the members of Parliament. Walk out of Parliament. Walk out of Parliament. Yep. Walk out of Parliament and hold a press conference. And hold a press conference right outside on the corridors of Parliament, Walk out of Parliament now. Walk out of Parliament now. Just walk out and hold that press conference. Speak to us. Speak to the people. Speak to the Guyanese people. Don't sit in there and wait. They're not going to allow you to speak, Aubrey. They're not going to allow you to speak. They're just not going to allow you to speak. Don't waste your time in there, guys. They are not going to allow you guys to speak at all about the forging of hundreds of names onto the PPP's list. Hundreds of names have been forged. I repeat, hundreds of names have been forged by the PPP. That is what they have been doing. Hundreds of names. And we can only imagine what they did. Again, I repeat, we can only imagine what these individuals did in the 2020 general and regional elections. This is just another example as to why they are afraid of the SOPs, why they are afraid of the elections petitions, because they have a lot to hide. Because the world would be able to see. The world would be able to see how they have rigged the elections. And it's something that I want to talk to David Granger about. I want to have a one-on-one conversation with David about this, the former president, President David Granger. I want to have a conversation with Mr. David Granger. I want to bring him. I want to sit him down for maybe an hour, 2 hours. I want to turn the cameras on, go live, and I want him to explain, to tell us, oh, for God's sake, tell us what transpired from the best of his knowledge. I want to hear from David Arthur Granger. I swear to God, I want to hear from him. I want all of you guys to hear from him as well. I want him to sit and talk. People are still wounded. People need to be healed. If he was threatened, if it was this, if it was that, what could he have done? People need an explanation. David Arthur Granger. People need an explanation. We want to know what happened. What happened, Mr. Granger? What happened? People they are not going to forget this particular situation and David Arthur Granger as it pertains to the outcome of the March 2020 elections. Yes, Mr. Granger hosts his, what do you call that show? Right here on 107.1 FM. Right here, it's in the public's interest. Yes, Mr. Granger is talking about the bees and birds and now local government elections and all manner of things. It's good. Don't get me wrong. But the main thing the people want to hear about, Mr. Granger, is the aftermath of the 2020 elections. I think I'm going to get him to say something about that. I think. People say I look like my mother, so I'm a little lucky. So I'm going to press on him for that because I want to know. And as we say in Guyana, the horse's mouth. We need to settle this thing. We need to get this thing over with. We need to throw it out there. We just need to throw it out there. You want to hear from Harman and Basil Williams and these sort of things. We need to hear from President David Arthur Granger. Simple as that. And it's done. We need to hear from him to get this election wounds thing over with and move on as best as we can. Clean up the wounds. Clean up the wounds. Sometimes when people are quiet, there's always a reason, but we want to know the reason. It's time that we know the reason, Mr. Granger. It's time, I repeat, it's time that we know the reason. All right? So let us get back. Let us get back to this. Let us get back to the forgery. let me get you guys. Let me get your take on that. You know what I gotta get? I gotta and it's cheap. So I'm not gonna ask anybody for no donation for that. It's cheap. A phone system. A phone is just maybe about a bob or two bob for a phone, so that you guys can call in. We got to get that system set up so you guys can call in. I want to hear from you guys too. Not every time we just read where y'all writing. We want to. We want to. We want you guys to call in. Call in and say something. Call in and talk. We want you guys to do that. We're hearing that one of those guys who talk up much, boast and brag, he's PPP and all these sort of things. You heard that he got arrested recently, and I don't know. It's not really. Person isn't really that important for us to talk about now. But person got arrested for assault and all manner of things. Assault. He got arrested for assault. What else he got arrested for? When was the arrest? Yeah, they got arrested for assault. Oh, yeah, I can't see right. All right, good. They got arrested for assault. The incident occurred on April 4th. Arrested on April 13th. Name of the individual. Okay. All right. We can deal with that later tonight. We can definitely deal with that later tonight. See, I'm glad that we are no longer listening to this garbage from Parliament. Strictly Passion. Strictly Passion is asking a question here. I believe that's a passion. A question: why does it seem as if the opposition is always behind when it comes to administrative and fact checking? Look, Strictly Passion. If I were standing next to you now, I'll give you a high five. Always behind. You know, Brenda is saying send donation, and last time, donation. That's another thing. But we people are just give, we people don't, Brenda. People don't even, some of we people don't even want to give 5 cents or 10 cents and them kind of things. Kelly, look at Kelly Abrams, rich. You think Kelly don't give you nothing to say, Kelly don't, and we don't behave until we don't like stretch we hand out and say, who are give man. But right, morning, Kelly. And so we're hearing this here now coming out of Demerara Waves. This is what we're hearing. The permanent secretary to remain Home Affairs Ministry's permanent secretary. That's according to Robeson Ben. And this is coming out of the Demerara Waves. According to Robeson Ben, is she ain't going nowhere. Y'all could talk how much y'all could talk cheese. She ain't going nowhere. You see she there? She and Azruddin Mohammed, them is good friends. And Shiman and Azruddin or she husband, whoever he is, I don't know. Look that gun in the hand. You think them boys get all sorts of guns in Guyana, And this is how reckless Guyana is. All sorts of guns they get in Guyana. The man is going to hunt with the, long time go and hunt with a little shotgun and them kind of things. And them banners in thing, See what they're hunting with now? If they ain't hunting, they're drinking together, hanging out together. And even as this story happens, her phone got seized. I guess some sort of federal probe, which includes maybe these guys that she's with here. Maybe. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not saying that that's the case. Mind you, maybe. I don't know. She got to tell us if it has anything to do with Azradeen Mohammed, and if it has anything to do with her husband or her fiancé or child father or whoever it is. She has to tell us that. And thus far, she has not come out in public to say anything at all as to at least give us an idea, even though probably the smart ones already know. I'm not saying that we don't have smart ones, except the trench crappers already know what's going on, right? And so Robeson Ben is saying, moments ago, is saying that she ain't going no way. She ain't going no way. But he could only bluff and talk like that, you know. She got to go. Robeson Ben doesn't have the final say whether she goes or not. Robeson Ben doesn't have the power to say whether she goes or not. She doesn't. Unless Azradeen Mohammed calls up Irfan Ali and say, look, let's just stay there. Unless, you know. But Robeson Ben doesn't have that power. But you see the arrogance in light of this revelation that her phone was seized, she was detained, and all manner of things. Brenda is asking, look, I'm an immigration consultant, right? I'm an immigration consultant. And folks who have immigration matters, and whether you're in Guyana, whether you're over here, because, you know, lawyers in Guyana who aren't qualified to practice in the U.S. can't handle immigration matters. They're not legally qualified, mind you. And that's just a fact, right? But I'm just an immigration consultant. If you have immigration questions, you want to get whatever it is done with immigration, feel free to call me. Of course, I'm a consultant, right? And you know what that says. I'm a consultant. You can call me. My business number is 917-714-1082. You can call me. I'm an immigration consultant. I deal with all matters. I deal with removals, asylum, you name it, whatever it is, I deal with it. If your citizenship, your I-130, you want to file for somebody, or you have filed for somebody and it's taken too long and you need some answers, call the immigration guy, the immigration consultant. Shucks, I can't believe that I'm actually advertising. I've reached to the point that I can advertise now that that's what I do. That's what I do, you know. And, don't call me now, right? Don't call me now. I'm live on the air. But this is that's my number there. If you have immigration questions, concerns, call me. Send me a text message. Then, yep, that's right. Thank you. Send me a text message. I'll, as best as I can, you know. And when I certainly stumble on anything, we have lawyers will review all of the documents and so forth. So if you seeking asylum, if you're in the process of being removed, deported, whatever. Anyways, I'm just advertising me there, right? Now we got eat, right? As the guys in Guyana says, we got eat. All right. And thanks again, Brenda, saying it's not free service. Of course, I'm a consultant, immigration consultant, right? Immigration consultant. Feel free to give me that call. But enough of that for now. Robeson Ben is saying that she's not going anywhere. We are saying, we at 107.1 FM, we are saying that she has to go. She has to go. She has to resign. She has to go. She has to go. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. She has to go. The PS has to resign, whether Robeson Ben likes it or not. She, according to information, has had her visas revoked. Her visa or her U.S. visa revoked, canceled, whatever you want to say. We are hearing that Robeson Ben's visa was actually revoked as well. That's according to a source. He has to respond to say whether it is true or not, whether his visa was revoked. Or he might be in possession of a diplomatic passport. Now, that's the difference. She is not the holder of this diplomatic passport. And they may be so presumptuous to want to give her that now. But it's too late. It's just too late. The permanent secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs has to resign, and resign as quickly as possible. She has to resign. That's it. Let me quickly see what else is there to talk about, because I'm not wasting my time on this crap. I'm just not wasting my time on this crap. I'm just not. So let's go and just before I go, some of you have been asking for this to be replayed. I'll go with this here.
Yeah, this is the elite team. The root team. Strong team.
Number one.
PPP team. Yeah. Yeah, Sam, PPP all the way. Yeah, one Guyana. Yes.
Holding the fort for Monday morning.
In any weather, rain, sun,
we are
in the night. We there right here, we ain't going nowhere. We holding it for PPP. Yeah. PPP all the way. Yeah, we definitely strong.
Crazy.
Yes. Yeah, PPP all the way. Yes.
Big us up.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm just going to read some of your comments, and we're out of here. I'll be back. If there's anything else to report, I will. But for now, now that you guys get a better, closer glimpse of the Three Stooges, we are calling for the resignation of the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs. We are calling for the resignation. We are calling on her to resign. And this is what we want the opposition to do, to call on her to resign as well. But the opposition, they have not been doing that, at least not as yet. But we are calling. We here at 107.1 FM, we, on behalf of all of you guys, we are calling for her to resign. So when we say goodbye for now, and you head back on your Facebook pages and wherever it is, but preferably your Facebook pages, just go into the comment section. Just go all over. You see Jack Dale and Irfan and Anil, wherever they are, even under the parliamentary page that they're broadcasting that circus live right now. Just call on her to resign. Post her pictures all over. Resign. She's got to resign. She has got to resign. Simple as that. She has got to resign. She has got to resign. Story done. Traveling out of the country to spend 2 days, 3 days in China. Who does that? Who travels from Guyana to China for just a couple of days? And you're just a permanent secretary? Why was she heading to China? If it wasn't an official business, who would travel all the way to China for a quick weekend? The permanent secretary heading to China for a quick weekend? I don't know. Look, China is a beautiful place, and I've spent almost 2 weeks in China, a week and a half in China, and it wasn't sufficient. But she's going there just for, what is it? Maybe she was going to Guangzhou, or Beijing for 2 nights and 3 nights and then back. Something isn't adding up. Why was she heading to China? And on whose behalf? Was she going to do any particular business for anyone? And who was she traveling to China with? I know they have a fair in Guangzhou right now. And that fair is going to be for about 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not sure if she was heading there with others from the Ministry of Home Affairs or others from the installed regime, or maybe, Azruddin Mohammed couldn't have been on that flight. I don't know who she was going there with. And for what? You guys, I'll be like my friend Dr. Hayes. You see me? You hear me? What was she going to China for? What? What? But we're not going to follow suit. We're glad that Ropes and Ben is watching us right now. We're glad. All of them are in Parliament watching, they're listening. But we reject this here coming from Ropes and Ben. We reject it. She has to resign. Story done. She has to resign. She's got to go. The entire nation is at risk right now. She has to go. Story done. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The permanent secretary, May Thomas, has to go. It's done. You've got to go. I'll see you guys later on. God bless you. Tonight's program is going to be very interesting. I have someone on that you guys love to hear from. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag as yet, but you love to hear from that person. I'm not going to even give you guys a hint. And what I can tell you guys, it's not a member of the Three Stooges. Not any of them. Not any of these here. But I'd love to have these Three Stooges on anyways to ask, how's the circus going?
Yeah, this is the elite team. The root team. Strong team.
Number one.
PPP team. Yeah. Yeah, Sam, PPP all the way. Yeah, one Guyana. Yes.
Holding the fort for Monday morning.
In any weather, rain, sun.
We are
in
here.
the night. We there right here. We ain't going nowhere. We holding it for PPP.
Right.
PPP all the way. Yeah, we definitely strong.
Raise it.
Yes. Yeah. PPP all the way. Yes.
Big us up.
Yeah.
Three Stooges. I'd love to have them on. Seriously. I'm not going to lie. I'd love to have the Three Stooges on to talk to them a little bit. Let's get this big stooge off. But for now, again, thank you all so much. I will be back. If anything pops up, I will be back. But the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs should resign. She's got to go. She should resign. She's got to go. We no longer have confidence. It's not like we had any confidence in her anyways, because the only person who may have had confidence in her is basically the Mohammed. They seem to have every reason to love her, because if somebody is giving me $2 billion worth of contract, hey, come on, Yeah. Anyways, we got the reports. People are taking out taking off the red T-shirts, and they're dumping them in gutters. Please, guys, you're flooding up the gutters. Prefer that you throw them in the toilet pits. But as you take them off, as you collect your 10,000, your 20,000 or whatever, don't throw them in the gutter. Throw them in the toilet pit or somewhere. We're told that these two Rasta guys, well, they claim that they're Rastas. They are complaining to relatives and friends, the one from Durban Street, that he has not been paid as yet, and he felt that that he has been robbed, that the PPP robbed him. And it's a sad thing that that's what the PPP is doing to people. Outside of forging hundreds of documents, they're also promising these people that they're going to pay them, and they're not paid. I'm not sure if Patricia Chase Green is complaining about anything. She seems to be, she appears to be happy. In fact, she's just not happy, and all these things. So these so-called Rasta men are complaining. Meanwhile, we're not even sure if this guy, what's his name again, Nazar Mohammed, we're not even sure he put himself up as a candidate. Imagine these guys are so bold. He's a candidate now, running for a council seat, running for a council seat. These guys in there down here, These guys in there down here. Anyways, if you see these folks, just say something on Facebook. You don't have to call the police force, because they get enough snitches in the police force too. So you got to be careful. Enough of them working for questionable businessmen. Enough of them have gotten their visas revoked as well. And when I say enough of them, I really do mean enough of them. Seriously, and when I say enough of them, I really do mean enough of them. Now, I'm showing this photograph for the only for the purpose of the investigations into the Fagundes murder. We haven't been hearing much from this guy. I'm not sure if he's one of them who has had his visa revoked or not. I don't know, but they got to say that. But let's get to this guy here now. Dion Bascom, Detective Sergeant Dion Bascom. According to a source, his life is now in danger, and someone may have put out a hit on him. And someone, mind you, someone may have put out a hit on him. So we've got to keep an eye on this latest development and to ensure that that someone who is pissed off at this guy, Detective Sergeant Bascom, we've got to ensure that Bascom is safe. And so I'm just reporting what the source has indicated to me, that Dion Bascom, Detective Sergeant Bascom, there's a hit out on his life. And we don't want anybody to just, in the dark, just curl up on him. Or as this saying, Guyana, roll up. Or not only just roll up, curl up on him. Curl up on him. Read between the lines. There's a hit out. It's said to be a hit out on this policeman, Detective Sergeant Bascom. And we don't want anybody to curl up on him. Anyways, my name is Mark Benshop. I'm out of here. I'll be back later on. If anything pops up, I'll be with you guys. But again, this woman, P.S., should resign. She should resign. You're out of here, guys. See you later. So long.
Mr. Mark, I believe every word of what Mr. Shu is saying. I am also afraid of Mr. Shu. Mr. Shu, if you are listening, I don't want anybody to harm you. This is a serious thing. Corruption is big. And we Chinese have to stop that. Been bullied by Jack Dale and other government official to pay bribe. It's big all over Guyana. A Chinese to pay by bribe. Mr. Shu, I hope you to stay strong. Do not. We respect and salute you for your bravery, for coming up and speak against corruption in Guyana. Thank you, Mr. Shu. We appreciate you, Mr. Mark. 马克，我相信每一句苏先生说的话。我现在很担心苏先生。苏先生，如果你在听我说话，我不想任何人威胁你。圭亚那政府腐败很严重，这个是很严重的事情。我们中国人必须停止被那些政府用武力行贿。苏先生，我希望你能继续你的发表，也希望你在新的一年万事如意。
For his consideration and acceptance of an invitation by the opposition to attend a meeting where we were able to highlight our concerns and share with him our intended proposals. And I believe, Mr. Speaker, that such approach, if we were to take it going forward, this assembly would be the most improved assembly, the 12th national, the parliament of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. And it will also say to our citizens that we can mature as leaders when it comes to national issues. So I trust that the honorable member colleagues will take a page from Honorable Colin Crow's book going forward whenever bills are laid in the National Assembly and we have concerns from this side of the House, we can, meet at a discussion table and share our position. So once again, I commend you for your efforts, honorable member, and your team, your technical team that sacrificed the Sunday yesterday just to meet with us. And I must report to the National Assembly, Mr. Speaker, that the discussions were quite, professional, and it was very cordial. So once again, thank you, honorable member. But Mr. Speaker, I also want to put on record that this is not the first time our nation is seeing a single window system being established. And oh yes, seriously. And I do believe that we should be able to give the then under the leadership of Brigadier David Arthur Granger the applause, because we were able to introduce the Customs and Trade Single Window Systems Bill in 2019. And this bill came into effect after countrywide consultations between 2017 and 2018, where we were able to do widespread consultations and take, recommendations and suggestions into consideration. Mr. Speaker, I do believe when I went through the bill, it is a very good bill. And in principle, the opposition do intend to support the bill.
Yeah, you already know what I want. Let me go. Give me Palori, I want Palori. Yeah. Give me Palori, I want Palori. Yeah. Give me Palori, I want Palori. Yeah. Give me Palori, I want Palori.